Alright, what is up, guys? So, what I have to show you right now is I was helping out one of my girl's dad's buddies moving out, and I found this, and he told me that I could have it. Now, I have absolutely no idea the name brand or anything, but look at that old piece of Americana, or maybe it's Japanese. It does say Japan S8 on the very bottom. You see it says Japan right there. Now, this is one of those old ones that when I first got it, it was just nasty all rusted. You can still see some of the corrosion over in this area and whatnot and getting it down. But what it did not have on it is a backstop. So when you'd cast out, I mean, I have it now so that when you pop that out, it can free spin out. So what I did was I modified this. I pulled it apart and I modified it, and I put a little pin right underneath this little knob right here. So when I did that, it made it so that it would actually stop. Now it does have this horrible clicking noise when I reel it in. Maybe not, but yeah, you see sometimes that pin doesn't even work all the time. Now I can't use that backstop when I'm out fishing because fish grabs onto this thing and it will not hold. But because it is old, I may go out and I might use a video, or I might make a video and try and use this, but I don't know how well it works. I live on a top story balcony walkway apartment, tiny little apartment. That's for another video. Anyways, with this, I don't know how well it's going to do. I was out there trying to cast it, and all it was doing is it was casting out about 4 feet and spinning right back around. Now, I know the technique. I am using a Berkeley lightning rod on this. I'm borrowing it from my dad. Now, it is, if it'll focus, it is a medium casting rod. It's a quarter to 5/8 ounce. And they prefer trilene on this, but I only have monofilament. This is 12 pound. Yeah, see that braking system that I kind of put in just kind of stopped. Shove that forward and see how well that works. Yeah, you see you hear that clicking noise? That's not great for reeling in, and it'll vibrate everything all loose. Now, when I got this, I opened it up, and these two little silver pins here, they had a circular thing to go around the gear, a circular like spring type metal that went around the gear that is on this side going from the drum here. Now, I did cut off one side, and I ended up drilling into a little post that this is stuck in to put the pin in so that I can stop it. Now, I cut off one side of it, and I ended up making it so it has that backstop in it. And I did put some 12 pound monofilament on here. And I mean, all in all, this looks cool, but this is technically my first baitcaster. It is really old, and I'd prefer not to use it all the time. I am trying to make a little bit of money so I can afford just one of those beginner baitcasters, just so I can get used to it. I've never actually used a real full-on baitcaster before, so I want to buy one of those cheapo ones, maybe one from Walmart. I mean, it's strictly for beginners, for beginning. My beginning on bait casting, and now my setup is down actually in my wife's car, which is at work. But I have one of the Ugly Stick mini rods, the Dock Runner, or not? Yeah, the Dock Runner. I did have a Dock Demon before, and those were both spinning combo or spinning combos, if I can speak correctly. But it was just when I originally bought the Dock Demon, it was one of their older versions. It didn't really work well for me because it is $16.99. I've looked up reviews and I've read up on those things, and they're great. Just so happened the one I had was kind of junk because it was manufactured wrong. So I went and returned it and got the the Dock Runner from Shakespeare, Ugly Stick brand. Um, and I have that for my main stuff. Right now, I'm only trout fishing. I'm trying to start up my YouTube channel, getting it running right, not running right. Wow, I'm gonna edit that out. But I'm trying to get better at all different types of fishing. Now, I used to go fishing with my dad and his friend. Oh crap. With my dad and his friend out on his friend's boat all the time, and that was mainly for like steelhead and salmon and stuff like that. And I do live here in Oregon. I'm not going to say a specific city or anything, because I don't want people freaking out about me telling people where I live and that's dangerous, whatnot. I know that's dangerous. That's why I'm not going to say it. But back to this thing, I know I ramble a lot, and you're going to see a lot of that in my videos, and hopefully that makes for good content, because I do see people out there with like 1 million views, and they do ramble a lot. But, I mean, just take a look at this. I mean, I was thinking about sanding it down and repainting it a nice flat black, because it is all scratched up and whatnot. But it does say Japan on there, and underneath the handle here it does say -S8. I think actually might be able to see it. If you see the little tiny mark right there above my nail, that would be where it says S8. But it was old, and you see it has rust on it, and then some other components just have some basic corrosion just from years of just sitting and no use. It had some old, like, I would say 40-pound test line. It's been so sun bleached outside that it turned like this awful green brown color, and it was brittle. I was trying to pull it out, and this thing was all just nasty. I did pull it apart. I did oil up some parts and whatnot. In here there's this gear system in here, and I put some oil and grease on there so it runs smoothly. When I do have this, when I have the line off of it, it does run nice and smoothly. I can spin it and it'll go, oh wow, shakes. Sorry about that. But it does, I can flick it, it'll go around a couple of times, and then it'll come to a slow stop. It won't just jerk to a stop after half a turn, which is where it was. Actually, as soon as it left my finger, it would stop. It wasn't even half a turn. But, I mean, it is a pretty decent rod. I mean, it doesn't have any like serious braking system. You don't tighten down any knobs or anything anywhere to turn it off or to slow down drags. So this does have some pretty bad backlash. When I was out on my little porch area, or whatever you want to call that, and trying to cast out, it backlashed every single time. So when I go to cast out with this thing, I'm gonna have to try and very, very finely thumb the drum and make sure I don't get any backlash or nothing like that. There's still a little bit of corrosion, but I did make sure that where the line touches, holy crap, again shakes, sorry about that again, but where it does touch the line, I made sure it's nice and smooth in there. I sanded down the corrosion and whatnot and polished it so it does have a nice system for the line to drive or to go through, so it doesn't start peeling away or I forget what it's called, when fraying, so that the line doesn't fray when it's coming out. But I mean, all in all, it is a solid old rod or reel. Wow. All in all, this is a solid reel. I mean, it was made nicely. I'm betting I've not been able to find anywhere where I can find any information. I've found a couple of these on like Etsy, and I found a couple of old ones, and this was one of them that was in a eBay auction, and they had like 5 or 6 other reels, and it said 1950s and 1960s reels, and I have no idea the year, no make, no model. All I know is it says Japan on the bottom. It says S8. So if any of y'all that see see what or know what this is, just go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll take into consideration a few things. I mean, I know that this is not a spinning reel. I am not dumb. I have done my research, and I do know a little bit about fishing. I just don't ever have the money to go fishing. Now, I am not going to show you guys me using this, because it is old, and I'll probably get upset, and I'll probably end up hucking the thing behind me and probably hitting somebody and getting yada yada, whatever. But I mean, I will end up trying to use this, making sure that it works correctly, whatnot. Maybe I can give it to a friend, or maybe even I was thinking after a little while of using it, making sure it runs right and getting the drag system, the locking system just right, getting the right pins in there, or maybe a right screw, so that when I do click that into place, it will actually lock the drum from reeling out when a fish gets onto it, so that I can use one of my other rods as opposed to just wasting the line away. But thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. If you want to know more about it, you can just leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to comment on, reply to your comments. Again, I have it on a basic medium heavy lightning rod. Wow, meant for Baitcasters. It's a 6 foot, 6 inch. They recommend apparently here trilene 8 to 14 pound, but I do have 12 pound test monofilament on here, again, as you can see. Alright, again, thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.